Welcome back to Bree and Mandy's Moon Ritual. We are celebrating the super wolf moon. This full moon is in Gemini, specifically the nakshatra of Ardra, which gives gains and success after effort. So as we're planning the new year, many of us are setting New Year's resolutions, really thinking about where we want to go and what we want to achieve in 2026. This moon is going to help us with that. But it's going to require that we put our effort in, that we recognize and discern where our efforts, where our energy is best served, and let whatever else is not fall away. So today we're going to begin with a few journal questions. That way we can open up the space, open up our mind to see what's calling us. Where are we putting our energy, and where is it better served, or is it best served there? Then we'll move into some restorative asana led by Bree, and we'll close with our community tarot card. Let's say hi to Bree. Hey Bree, how are you?
Hi, Mandy. I'm doing well. Really excited for this first new full moon. So is Stanley. Um, yeah. And I'm excited to share some asana after our journaling practice, something to get us grounded and maybe a little bit more rested, which is really needed this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The end of one is the beginning of another. So I love that you'll be leading us through something restorative before we start running and striving with our efforts for success. Let's start with our moon chant. So Om Cham Chandraye Namaha, and we'll chant this in call and response 4 times. So find your comfortable seat, and you'll want to journal for the activity after. So we'll go right into journaling after the chant. So if you need to get that, and then find your comfortable seat. All right. From your comfortable seat, if you'd like, you could close your eyes and just notice your natural breath. Notice the quality of your mind. Perhaps it's busy or a little distracted. And you could just ask your mind to set those things aside for now, much like placing those things in a parking lot. They'll be there for you when we're done. Begin to deepen your breath into your lower belly. Let your lower belly fall forward with the inhale. And begin to notice how your lower belly tones towards your spine with the exhale. And for a moment here, just notice the effort, the exchange of effort and energy happening in your own body. And see if you can release about 10%, maybe 20% effort, and let your body breathe you. Notice any part of your body making contact with the ground. Perhaps even trace the parts of your body making contact. Sense your groundedness, your connection to gravity. You do not need to hold yourself up. If you'd like, you could bring your hands to heart center for our chant. And again, it's Om Cham Chandraye Namaha. Begin with an inhale. Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Last one. Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
Om Cham Chandraye Namaha.
We'll rest together in the quiet vibration. And release your hands in the practice only when you are ready. And blink your eyes open. Thank you for sharing that chant with me and Bree. It's a way that we tell the moon we're here, we're paying homage, and we want to align with the natural energy that's happening around us. We want the support of the moon. So if you open your journal to a blank page, I'll be offering 4 questions, and we'll have about 2 to 3 minutes for each question. You can always come back and elaborate in your own time on the question or do a deeper dive. So as I mentioned, this moon is about achieving success after right effort. So needing to put in the effort towards our goals. So let's evaluate. Let's take a look at this first question. Where in my life am I already putting in real effort, but not yet acknowledging it? So where are you putting in the effort? You're showing up rather consistently, yet not really acknowledging your effort towards this goal. Maybe it's something you're like, oh yeah, but that's just what I'm supposed to do. So you're kind of not counting it as effort. I'll read it one more time and then I'll leave us into a couple minutes of silence. Where in my life am I already putting in real effort, but not fully acknowledging it? Maybe another 20 or 30 seconds to wrap up your thought. You can always pause here if you need more time. Okay. Second question. What kind of effort strengthens me? What kind of effort quietly drains my energy? So let's look at the effort that drains us and the effort that nourishes us. 20 or 30 more seconds here on this one. Okay. A lot of times in our yoga practice or in the yoga therapy that Bree and I offer, we talk about not striving. In fact, you might even hear language in her asana today to strive less or to do less or to relax more. But there is a right amount of striving. There is a right amount of setting a goal, setting your sights on that which brings you joy, brings you happiness, and allowing yourself to work towards that goal. When we're striving, we might be reaching a little bit further, or we might be trying to move a little faster than allowing what's for us to flow to us. But let's look at this word strive for a moment and really think about here in this third question, what are you striving for that truly matters to you? So what are you aiming for if striving is not the right word for you? What are your sights set on that truly matters to you? Not what you think you should want, but what are you putting effort towards that matters to you? Not anybody else, just you. This one up in about 20 seconds or so. All right. The last question. If success requires struggle, if success requires effort, what outcome feels most genuinely worth it? So while we don't want to attach ourselves to the outcome, let's let ourselves envision, visualize what's the outcome of your effort that truly matters. Take about 20 or 30 more seconds to finish. What outcome would be worth it? And maybe glance over all the questions and see if there's anything calling to you that wants a little more attention. Anything that comes to you, you can know. Or perhaps you're ready to set it aside and let your body work it out in our asana practice. Before we dive into our asana practice today, we're going to pull our community tarot cards. So we'll split the deck. We'll take the card from the top. It is the Hermit, healing, solitude, and inner work. This is a perfect January card for
Yeah.
wintering.
Yes.
I am definitely feeling the call to hermit. So I'll read out of the book here. It is a time to withdraw from the hustle and bustle and tend to an important matter, the nurturing of the spirit. Shimmering like a sheer cloak around your human form, the spirit is gently calling you now. Make space for ritual and quiet. This card is ruled by the star sign Virgo and its appearance indicates you must be diligent and meticulous in your quest for spiritual elevation. Clear an area in your home for an altar, light a candle, and focus softly on the flame's gentle dance. Prepare to go on a journey inside yourself. The Hermit encourages you to peer into the deepest, darkest regions of the soul, heart, and mind. Fear not, the lantern of wisdom, faith, and truth will light your path. Whatever is illuminated is finally being healed. I couldn't think of a more perfect segue into a restorative asana.
Yeah, and I love how it said to nourish this. Did it say nourish the soul or nourish the self? Either way, I wanted to read. So I was going over some of my yoga school notes to prepare for the asana today. Because this is in Ayurveda, we call it the Vata season. Winter season is the cold, dry, maybe not dry for everyone, but it's typical that our bodies get really dry in the winter because of the cold, and so I found a list of things to nourish yourself during this season and during this full moon, which is also falling in Vata. So I'm just going to read that real quick, and then we'll get into our restorative. So for these are recommendations for Vata imbalance, but it's also just recommendations just for this season in general. The first one is to lubricate your skin. No cold food or beverages. So sticking to warm things this time of year is going to help with digestion because that is a common problem this time of year. Decrease stimulation. Less breathing in your chest. So trying to breathe down further into your stomach, which we're going to practice today. Lessen fear, worry, and anxiety. So anything that helps you, which we just kind of wrote down some of those things that nourish us. So that would be a great thing to start, or a great way to start there to lessen these more negative, I guess, emotions. Do more forward folds. We're going to do one today. Be still and grounded more. Increase Apana Vayu, which is the Vayu that grounds us down in our hips, I believe, lower hips. And some things written here to increase that is light and incense, the candle gazing meditation, which is what came up in our tarot card too. Interesting. Hip openers, which we're going to do today, and then a visualization meditation. So maybe finding something online. There's tons of meditations on YouTube or different apps. Be in the present moment. Lengthen the exhale. Do more restorative yoga. Maintain healthy fats in your diet and garden. And even if the gardening, is inside because it's too cold to get outside and then too cold to grow anything outside. That's not the case here in Arizona yet. We've been having a really warm winter, and everything is blooming like crazy. It's so weird, but yeah, anything to ground you is basically what that means. So even just going outside and noticing what kind of nature you have in your home environment would be highly recommended. So we're going to start, since we're all sitting here, we're just going to start with practicing deeper breaths into the belly and then lengthening the exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. So you can close your eyes or take a soft gaze forward and just at first just notice your breath and where it's going right now without trying to change it. And maybe also noticing just your body in general, your hips on the ground, your shoulders over your hips, and then maybe tucking the chin a little bit to align the spine. And then start to try to change the breath and bring it down just a little bit lower with each inhale. Then trying to stick with that low inhale, switch your attention to the exhale, and you can use a counting method to make it a little bit easier. So counting your inhale and then however long that count is, adding 2 more counts to the exhale. And a tip that I've been shown is to pay attention to the beginning of the exhale to try and slow that down first. It usually brings about a longer exhale when you focus on that. So just take about 2 or 3 more breaths, focusing the inhale down low in the belly, and then slowing down the beginning of the exhale and trying to allow it to be a little bit longer than the inhale. And then after those couple of breaths, come back to a natural breath, letting go of any sense of control. And then you can slowly open your eyes when you feel ready. So for the asana today, I've got a lot of props. So I'll tell you what I have, and then I can also show you some adaptations to the poses in case people don't have all the things that I have. So I have blankets. You can use pillows. I have yoga blocks. I have a chair, but I'm also going to show you the same pose with 2 chairs. So if you have 2 chairs and need to adapt that pose, you can grab 2 chairs. I also have an eye mask, a sandbag, and a weighted blanket. So you can grab all of those things or any of the things that you do have. And then obviously you can pause at any time and kind of adjust your position as you need to. So the first pose is going to be with the chair and maybe some blocks. Okay, so I'll show you the first version of this pose. You're going to take a wide stance with your legs standing in front of the chair, and then I have the blocks on the chair seat. And you want to have the blocks actually a little bit further back on the chair. And then you're going to bend forward, and so you can see, bring your forehead to the blocks, and then your forearms will rest on the chair. And you can kind of adjust your legs as you need to for comfort, and maybe kind of sway your hips side to side to get them nice and stretched out a little bit. And then find a still position. Do not hyperextend your knees here. You want to have them a little bit bent. And then with the forearms on the chair, you have 4 points of contact. And so use each one to kind of distribute your weight evenly between, the forearms and then the legs. So that's the first version of this pose. And I'm going to move into the next one, or you can stay there if you like it. So if you don't like standing and bending over, some people have a hard time with that, you can sit in front of the same chair setup, and then just fold forward and bringing your head on the blocks, your forearms on the chair. So just adding that extra point of contact into the ground, your hips on your seat. Wherever you're at, start to come downward and try to use that lengthening of the exhale. So making the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Come back into that type of breath and take about 4 or 5 breaths like that, nice and slow, bringing the inhale down low in the belly. And then the exhale, slowing down the beginning of it, and then allowing the rest of the exhale to just kind of happen naturally. Allow the breath to bring you down towards the ground a little bit more with each breath. And finishing with this last breath or two. And then pushing into the forearms to lift your head. And you can come up, you can bring your hands onto the chair to push yourself up. And then if you're standing, just come into mountain pose. If you're sitting, just bringing your spine, bringing your shoulders over your hips to align your spine. And just notice what's going on in your body. Notice any energy changes. And then we'll get set up for our next pose. So no more chairs. Get rid of the chairs. You can bring your blocks down to your mat. So this next pose is called Vata, and it's going to be very simple. You can just get on your back and prop your knees so your feet will come together, your knees will go outward, and you'll prop them with the blocks. So we're not looking for a very deep stretch in the middle of our legs. We're looking for just a relaxed opening, and then with the back, you can choose to use a blanket or a pillow to support your head if that feels better, if you're used to that when you're flat on your back. I've got This is a good opportunity to use your eye mask. You could use your sandbag on your feet to ground them a little bit more. And then I'm going to add my weighted blanket, but you can use just a regular blanket. Just making sure you're nice and warm for this pose because we are going to stay here for a couple minutes. So once you get into position, you can also choose where you want your hands to be. I'm choosing to have both my hands down in my low belly or on my low belly. You could also choose to bring your hands to your sides, palms face up or down. Having them down does bring more grounding into the body. Or you could choose to have one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Whatever position you've chosen to relax in, do just that. Just relax. You can tell yourself that whatever is on your to-do list will be done later. That right now, this is a time to do less. You can start here with a couple deeper breaths down into the belly. Maybe lengthening the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. But after 4 or 5 of those breaths, then just let go. Let your breath be as natural as it wants. And if at any time in this position, any thoughts start to come up, you can maybe imagine them as rocks, turn them into rocks, and allow them to sink down into the ground. Kind of just put them away. You can tell them that you'll pick it up later. Just for now, for these few moments, allow yourself to do less. Just 1 more minute. Allow yourself to be here, dismissing any thoughts that come up, telling them you'll pick them up later. if you have an eye mask, remove it without opening your eyes at first. Allow the light to shine through your eyelids at first before you blink your eyes open. And then if it's easy enough for you to do, the last position we're going to get into is Shavasana. I'm going to have to move myself a little more than I'd like because Eddie came to lay on me. So in Shavasana, again, you can choose to put that sandbag on your feet for grounding, or you could, other good placements are just below the hips on your thighs. Some people even like it across their chest, but everyone's different. So you can always kind of try different things and find what works best for you today. So in Shavasana, again, you can allow yourself to take a few deeper breaths. And then allow your body to just breathe for you without trying to control it whatsoever. And now we're going to scan the body as we lay here, starting with the feet. From the innermost kindness of yourself, send warmth down towards your feet and tell your feet, I see you. I see your effort. Thank you. Again, paying attention just to the feet right now. Telling your feet, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. And then bringing your awareness up into all of the legs from the bottom of your feet up to your hips. And from the innermost kindness of yourself, send warmth down into the legs. And tell your legs, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. And just keeping your focus on your legs. Repeating the phrases, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. Coming up into the torso, maybe bringing your attention to different organs in the torso, the stomach, the intestines, the reproductive organs, the kidneys, the spleen, and then even up into the chest, your lungs, your diaphragm, and your heart. And from the innermost kindness of yourself, send warmth down into the whole torso. And tell it, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. To your hands, your fingers, your palms of your hands, your wrists, your elbows, all the muscles in your arms. And from the innermost kindness of yourself, send warmth down into both arms. And repeat the phrases, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. And then finally, shifting your attention up into your head, from the top of your head to your neck, thinking about your eyeballs, your brain, your tongue, your throat. And from the innermost kindness of yourself, sending warmth through your face, through your entire head, and saying, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. And then from the innermost kindness of yourself, notice the whole body and send warmth throughout the whole body. The whole body works really hard to keep you alive. So, repeating the phrases to your whole body, I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. It's not hard. But again, if you have an eye cover, you can remove it without opening your eyes and letting the light shine through your eyelids. And when you're ready, you can slowly blink your eyes open. Come back up to sitting. Taking your time. So I'll just say one more time to everyone that's joined us today. I see you. I see your efforts. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself and to acknowledge the moon and the the changes that can happen when you acknowledge what's happening around you. If that makes sense. The next moon is a new moon, and it is set for January 18th in the sign of Capricorn. So looking forward to seeing everyone, and thank you. Like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to continue to do these rituals with us. And we'll see you next time.